When you're headed down your career path, there's certain roads that you may want to take. Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley decided to take the same path, and it cemented their career legacy. I'm Tommy Dreamer, and welcome to Cageside Noise. In April of 2016 marks 20 years of the Dudley Boyz. Still putting people through tables after all these years. We've seen a lot of incarnations of the Dudley Boyz, from a stuttering, gigantic fat man, Bubba Ray, got you there, to his evil preacher brother, Devon. But let's go way, way, way back to the beginning. And as you know, watching the WWE DVD that's coming out, straight out of Dudleyville, available also on the WWE Network. I highly recommend the DVD because you get to see two pioneers, the most decorated tag team of all time. And it all started out of my brain. The evil genius. Actually, not so much. But I remember sitting around a locker room, and it was me, Taz, and Raven. And we were talking about putting a tag team together that kind of looked like a tag team of hockey players from the movie Slapshot, the Hanson brothers. And we were all kind of spinning our wheels, and that's how this tag team formed. And there was a first carnation of the Dudley Boyz, and they didn't get over quite as well as they wanted to. And then here came Bubba, here came Devon. We also had a Big Dick Dudley. We had Sign Guy Dudley, and that's the original most over Dudleys, which then brought little Spike Dudley and a whole other slew of Dudleys, all in a little locker room talking about these men. And then I went on the route of trying to cast these guys. And I remember I had wrestled this big, gigantic man, Mongo Vile, who looked like he ate one of the Nasty Boys, or both of the Nasty Boys. And he happened to be one of the greatest wrestlers I've ever wrestled, because almost at 400 pounds, he could drop kick, do a superplex, take a high backdrop. And I said, I think that's the guy for the spot. As well as Devon, trained by WWE Hall of Famer, and my trainer, Johnny Rods. So it all kind of started putting the pieces together. Bubba came to fruition by he actually just showed up at an ECW show and wound up getting chokeslammed by 911, and he had a job ever since. Devon, he kind of came, he had to have a tryout, and it worked out really, really well for him. And once we put them together, it was pure gold. And when I tell you, go back and check us all out, I had so much more hair, I was way thinner, and I had so many hot girls. God, please check me back. Please take me back to those days. But I digress. Bubba and Devon, they won the ECW tag team titles so many times. They were a staple of ECW. We had so many riots due to lovely Bubba and Devon. And trust me, I was involved in most of them. The largest money-making feud in the entire history of ECW was back-to-back pay-per-views, Heatwave to Heatwave, Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman versus the Dudleys. We never traveled with each other in ECW because we had a strict policy. We didn't really travel with each other, but we did party with each other. It all changed once they broke Beulah McGillicuddy's neck and she went goodbye to the business, and that angle kicked off a great money-making feud for ECW. Then they went on to bigger and better things into WWE. I was quite pissed that they left just because they were my friends and I loved hanging out with them and I knew what they did for the company of ECW. And then they switched the tie-dyes to camouflage. That's a lot of camouflage covering one Bubba Ray, if you know what I mean. Me and him have this kind of like fat guy Twitter war where you can both follow us and you can see we kind of insult us, but we're friends, and actually I kind of have him a little bit. I call him Darth Vader because he is part of the evil empire. He is the whole evil empire. Anyway, and I kind of created him so I have that little bit. I'm like the Jedi Zen master of fat over him. So they debut in WWE, and when you think about people who kind of upped their game once they went to WWE, they definitely did. But they still kept to their origins of putting people through tables. It was the whole Attitude Era. They put poor Mae Young through tables, girls, guys, everyone was part of their wrath. And they went on to become the most decorated tag team of all time, the only tag team to ever hold the WWE, ECW, TNA, NWA, WCW, All Japan, New Japan. They've held every title possible. Then when it was time to bring back ECW for a one-night stand, God, I miss those one-night stands too. I digress again. I had more hair during those one-night stands and I was way thinner. Man, I want those one-night stands again. Anyway, let's talk about one-night stand. Who's in the main event? Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman. Bubba hit me so hard in the ear with the Singapore cane, the doctor said I may actually lose my ear. It may just fall off one day within the next couple of weeks. I was really anticipating that because that would have been kind of cool. Number 2, my best buddy, Bubba and Devon, set me on fire and put me through a table that night, and it was probably one of the happiest nights of my life. We've had a love-hate relationship on camera, but behind scenes, they've been 2 of my best friends. I inducted them into the TNA Hall of Fame. I hope to one day induct them into the WWE Hall of Fame if they let me. If not, it's okay. But that's what I really, really want to do because it would kind of be full circle for me. Those 2 guys have bled, sweat, buckets for this business, revolutionized tag team wrestling, and came up with 3D that no one's ever kicked out of. It's one of the most greatest finishers of all time. Hey, we should do another top 10 of that maybe one day. Greatest 3Ds. Just trust me, I've taken it, and it hurts. You sometimes land on your balls too, and that's never fun. Takes the wind out of you, your neck hurts. Broke my wife Beulah McGillicuddy's neck. She left wrestling because of it. We didn't see her until 2005, a one-night stand. I had a lot of one-night stands with her too, by the way. Yeah, we weren't married then, but that's a whole other. Maybe we should have a Tommy Dreamer top 100 one-night stands, because ooh, you'd be surprised who wanted to sleep with this. But I keep digressing just to pop my writers and producers. Anyway, check out 20 years of the Dudleys. Bub and Devon, you're the greatest thing to ever come out of this mind, minus my children, but they weren't planned or anything like that. You guys are my gigantic brothers, and I love you very, very much. It's time for another giveaway. This time, 5-finger death punch. Blah! Kills in the Orient. I've seen it happen. Autographed poster. I'll sign the back of it if you're a 5-finger death punch fan. And this guy, by the way, looks exactly like Eric Rowan of the Wyatt family, carrying the chainsaw given to Dean Ambrose from Terry Funk, if you watch Monday Night Raw. But I digress. Whoever leaves the best comment about the Dudley Boyz, or even a nice fat joke about Bubba Ray, I will personally give you this giveaway. Like, follow, and subscribe to every Louder Noise TV on social media, and you could win this autographed poster and CD of 5-finger punch. And that guy's definitely a Wyatt member.